Katie wrote in and said this: I agree 100% with everything you guys say here. She's commenting on it's not a blanket statement of all of our theology.
Okay. That here, the qualifier.
Here, yes. That here, the qualifier is a YouTube video that she's commenting on. So, and I'll full disclosure, I don't remember what video she commented on. That's not the point of this comment. She says, I am curious, how would you explain the proper interpretation of 1 Corinthians 10:23? And we're going to go 10:23 and 10:24. Let me get there real quick. Bring up 1 Corinthians 10:23 through 24. And let's read it real quick. All things are lawful, but not all things are helpful. All things are lawful, but not all things build up. Let no one seek his own good, but the good of his neighbor. Okay, so let's keep going with Katie's comment here. She says, 1 Corinthians 10:23 and 24 in the CSB, and then she quotes it. And then she says, everything is permissible, but not everything builds up. This has been presented to me, basically backing up this guy's argument that all things are permitted, but on the flip side, so as to say, well, all things are permitted so we can eat pig or work on the Sabbath, etc. I think my explanation probably left a lot to be desired. So I would love to hear how you guys would explain it better than me. You want me to go first here, Rob, or do you want to go?
You go for it, man.
Yeah, okay. So this was years ago. I don't remember where it was. I think it was in Boston. There was a great paper at the ETS one year, and this guy said that he was going to take his paper and write a book. He probably did, and it was all on the Corinthian slogans. Now, if you don't know what Corinthian slogans are, I'm going to attempt very quickly to explain this. Now, keep in mind,
not a softball team.
Yes, exactly. Well, maybe they were. How do you know, Rob? Do you have evidence of such a claim? Anyway, not the point. This guy presented a 45-minute paper, which was excellent.
No, dude, the Greeks hated baseball.
They were soccer fans?
Or softball. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, they were wiffle ball players. Anyway, so here is what the paper entailed. It basically is that throughout 1 Corinthians, what Paul is doing is he's taking what they call Corinthian slogans. And the Corinthian slogans are sayings that the Corinthians would say. Things like, hey, all things are lawful. And this was kind of like a catchphrase. You'd walk in, hey, sorry, we didn't mix the wine with water today. Ah, that's okay. All things are lawful, right? I mean, that's like, they have these catchphrases, okay? We have the same kind of thing in our day-to-day world in English as well, right? What I'm trying. This is top of the head. I'm thinking off the top of my head here. I'm trying to think of a slogan. Well, I can't right now, but that's okay. Well, just consider something. I'm sure the chat room is going to help me out here. Okay. So you got slogans. Right? Like all things are lawful. What Paul does, this is my understanding, and I think it's all good. That's a good one. So it's all good, right? That's a slogan, like an American slogan, right? 12 in one hand, half dozen the other, right? Or whatever it is. I don't know. My slogan's off. Anyway, you understand what I'm saying, right? You get what I'm saying. We have slogans today, okay? So what Paul is doing is he is, in my understanding of this passage, and there's other places in Corinthians as well where he takes Corinthian slogans, but this is a perfect example. All things are lawful. So what he does is he quotes the Corinthian slogan. Now, he's not going to tell everybody, hey, by the way, this is a Corinthian slogan, because the Corinthians already know all these slogans. So he just quotes the slogan, all things are lawful, and then he gives his response to that slogan. And the way that we know that this is most likely the case is because what he says next is directly contradictory to it. It's almost like he's making fun of it. Like, all things are lawful. Yeah, right? Okay, if all things are lawful, not all things are helpful. So not all things are lawful because they can't help me in my walk. All things are lawful? Oh, yeah? Well, that's not true because not all things build up. Right? So he's contrasting the Corinthian slogan with his response to the slogan, which is, this is wrong. You Corinthians know better than this. Stop sleeping with your mother-in-law and get on the train of Torah. This is exactly what he's saying. Okay. Thank you so much for watching this video. Tell us your thoughts on this subject by leaving a comment in the comment section. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and enable those notifications. And we'll see you in the next video.